Hey everybody, Anissa from Redbird Landscape Design here. I'm about to plant a navel orange tree. And in where I am in North Florida, we have somewhat of a sandy soil. Done a lot of research where some things are saying, put it out in the middle of sun, full sun, blasting all day long. I found a lot of other research that's saying, put it under the canopy of an oak tree. That's where I'm gonna put it. Apparently, and the information is still not out where there's a lot of it to look at, but apparently there's some kind of sap or nutrients, something that the oak tree is offering the orange tree, and it's helping greatly with citrus greening. And citrus greening is a huge problem right now, especially in the state of Florida, where fruit will come on the tree and it won't green, it'll stay green and not develop or grow. So I've dug my hole, and research indicates that some people are saying don't add anything to the hole, don't do an amendment. Other things are saying add humus, add some kind of a nutrient-rich extra soil if you don't have nutrient-rich soil. I'm going to put an amendment in the hole, probably about 6 inches worth. It's not something that's going to hold on to the water because citrus does not like wet feet. So I'll show you where I'm at. So last couple of videos I've shot, I've shown you that if you use your shovel, the length of it from tip to where it forges onto the handle, it's approximately the same length from the top of the soil line in the pot down to the bottom. So I used it as a measuring stick. Now, as you see, my hole is way deeper, right? It's twice easily the depth. So I'm going to backfill with a little bit of the native soil, and then I'm going to add some of that into it, approximately 6 inches. And then we'll figure out, see how the plant sits in the hole, if I need to adjust it, because you don't want to plant it too deep. So as you can see, I did my backfilling. I first added in some of the native soil, which is sandy, but not super sandy. It does have a bit of a loam to it, but it doesn't have great character to it either. It doesn't clump up or slightly. So I added about 6 inches of this into the hole. So I went native soil, amendment, and then a little bit more native soil because it was a little too low. So this is where we're going to set it, and then and then what you want to do is the graft spot. So this is a rootstock down here, and this bump out right here, that's the grafting. Up here is the other plant that will produce your fruit. There's two different plants here. Rootstock is strong and sturdy and can handle diseases and insects and whatnot, and then they graft on the orange navel tree at the top. My next step will be to backfill, which means I'm going to fill in this space around the pot. Obviously, I take the plant out of the pot, and we'll go from there. You do not want to plant too deeply. You don't want to come up and bury up to the rootstock. Just come up a little bit, an inch or so, when you put the soil back on top of it when you're backfilling, and that's where you'll stop. My next step is to get the orange tree out of the pot. What I'm going to do is lay it on its side, because you don't want to yank on the rootstock, on the stem. You can tear off a lot of the good roots that are at the top of the plant and cause great damage. So what you're going to do is you're going to gently rest it down on its side so you don't crush the top portion. And then you're going to roll it. You have to do this with a knee too, one-handed. So you take the heel of your hand and you smack the pot. You're knocking the soil away from the pot, like so, and keep rolling it around. Sorry about the close-up. And then you just keep rolling it around, hit it some more, and then I can feel it loosening up. See how it's puckering? Now this will easily fall out of the pot without doing any damage. Okay, so plant is out of the pot easily. The root system only comes down to approximately 6 inches right here. I had to bump it up a little bit higher because I lost a lot of the soil when it came out of the pot. And I put that soil in the planting hole. So now, top of the root ball is just slightly above ground level, okay? And that's exactly where we want it. Another tip, really important, is there's your rootstock, your grafting spot. You want that to face north, and for me, north is that way. The idea behind that is so when the sun's beating down on the plant, it's not going to get scalded and damaged from the sun. Constant exposure. It just gives an extra little hand for the plant to hopefully be successful. That's backfill. Okay, so the backfilling just about done. I stopped at this point to show you. So what I've done to backfill properly is I take my fingers kind of like this and I pop it all the way around the side so that I knock the soil down in there and not compact it like cement, but make sure it's just down in there really well. We don't want air pockets. And the next thing you need to do is, I'm sitting down, but I'm gonna get up and look at this plant, make sure it's straight. And this is the opportunity before you completely finish the planting, is to correct it if it needs to be straightened out. Okay, so we have it backfilled properly, not jammed up against the base of the plant. The soil, we don't want to jam a lot of soil up in here. We want to keep mulch away from the base as well. That can be creating a rot situation where moisture can get trapped down there and fungus and whatnot. Next up is to water it in really well. And you can also see there's a ring all the way around. That's a tree ring. It helps keep the moisture in the space where the root ball is. So you make sure that you hit the target when you're watering. Now we're going to gently water in. Don't destroy your tree ring that's around by hitting it too hard with water. That's quite a bit. We're going to sit here and wait for it to percolate down. And then I will put mulch over top. And what I'm going to use is what you see it all around the base underneath my tree here. This is a chip drop mulch that I got for free. I don't know 100% what's in the mulch, so therefore I would not put it in my vegetable garden, but as a base to put on top of plants. As you can see, it's doing really well with the azaleas and the ferns that are underneath this oak tree. And that's what I'll put underneath here. Always mulching, it keeps the moisture there, keeps weeds down, and just overall keeps the plant root system cool when you're having crazy hot summers, and helps your plants survive those major heat waves. And that's a wrap, folks. The orange tree, the navel tree, is in the ground, mulched in approximately 3 inches, maybe 4 max. You don't want to go too heavy. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the first year of a fruit tree's life, you really want the root system to really expand and grow and work its way down into the earth, obviously. That way it can withstand any drought conditions, disease, and insects. It just ends up becoming a stronger tree, which ends up giving you fruit for a far lengthier time if the tree can withstand any issues that may come up. So what you need to do after your first year, so this time next year, between now and next year, October, if this orange tree decides to put on any fruit, I have to remove all of it. I know it's heartbreaking, isn't it? But that's the case. You take off the fruit the first year, and that way the tree can put a lot of that energy that's going to the fruits, which takes a lot of energy, that goes back into the growth of the plant to put out stronger root system and a stronger branching pattern, stronger trunk. So thanks for watching, everybody. We did a lot today. You'll see in separate different videos. I planted a peach tree, an orange tree, a navel tree, and did another project over in the front yard on the back corner where the muley grass was planted in. Needless to say, I'm tired. I'm not 25 anymore. So anyways, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. The channel's growing and doing really well. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons if you got anything out of this video. Please share it. Everything I say online on my channel here has been vetted and verified. I've done a lot of the research. And you know what? If you have a tip, a trick, something that worked for you in your space, let me know. Last thing about orange trees, you can keep them in the north if you put them in a pot. You have to bring them in the house over winter, obviously. Orange trees are zone 8 and higher, 8, 9, 10. You have to have the warm, mild winters. So thanks again, folks. Take care. Next video, I'm going to be planting a Barbados cherry. Thanks again. We'll talk to you soon.